So trying something a little bit different. Usually I send to family and friends a PowerPoint with my travel memories, but I'm trying a recorded version to see how things go. And this was the first day of my trip to Israel, and we stopped at the Mount of Olives. And the Mount of Olives provides an amazing view of the old city from really high up. Luckily the sun came out so I could get some nice photos. Our tour started by going up to the Mount of Olives, which I always imagined looked more like a beautiful garden with a lot of trees. Well, things have changed since biblical times, and in modern Israel, the site is a really great observation post to see Temple Mount, the Dome of the Rock, the Garden of Gethsemane, the Judean Desert, and the Dividing Wall, which I'll show in some other slides as we go along. And there's also a university which is above the Mount of Olives. Now our tour guide caught our attention really fast by talking about the desert below. And this was the same desert that Jesus stayed for 40 days during his temptation. The road to Jericho was also known to be very dangerous, with a lot of robbers and bandits, and people would travel by day to really just stay safe and try to do the trip during daylight hours. You can also see in the distance the dividing wall between Israel and Palestine. And even though there aren't too many trees, and I really love trees, the area is irrigated, or you wouldn't really see any trees in this type of desert environment, at least according to my tour guide. The gold dome that stands out is the Rock of the Dome. This site is also considered the high point of Mount Moriah, where Abraham was told to sacrifice Isaac. It's also the place where King David brought the Ark of the Covenant. And you can see Temple Mount from the distance. Now, the Dome of the Rock for the Muslim religion is the place in the Holy Quran where Muhammad had a vision of coming to the city and riding a horse to heaven. So, multiple meanings of significance for different religions. Now, when I came back, someone wanted to know what really stood out for me about Jerusalem and my trip. And for me, what stood out is it's a place where people are constantly worshiping and seeking God. Now, I know you don't need to be in Jerusalem to worship and seek out God, but this is what stood out for me. Below the Mount of Olives is a cemetery, and it may not be as easy to see in the picture, but the graves are not dug down to the earth since it is bedrock. Pebbles are put on the grave as a sign of remembrance, and I found this interesting and also thought, oh, well, they're definitely going to last longer than flowers, so pretty good there. What also stood out, or I found interesting, was this one very green, beautiful tree in the middle of the desert. There's no vegetation anywhere, and there it just stands, surviving, so beautiful. And I just felt, oh, talk about a survivor. So the next stop, or the next video that I'll be working on, is on St. Anne's Church and the Pools of Bethesda. And at this stop, we will see the place where Jesus healed the paraplegic, and it was also a highlight for the group. And that's it for now.